Hey lovelies, welcome to another episode of my podcast, Candid Talk with Retta. I am your host, Loretta Jared, and today I'm going to be talking about being an ambitious woman in today's world. I have titled today's episode, The World's Perception of Ambitious Women. We are going to look at a general overview of what it means to be an ambitious woman in today's world and how the world responds to women who dare to want more or chase their dreams. We would also zero in on Nigeria, which is where I come from, and talk about the general perception of ambitious women in this part of the world. Don't go anywhere. Candy Talk with Retta continues shortly. So I was reading an article a few days ago and I saw a statement by popular actress Priyanka Chopra, and I'm going to read it verbatim. She said, "Ambition is like a cuss word for a woman. When a man is ambitious, he's called driven. When a woman is ambitious, it's a bad thing. It's the irony of our world." And when I read this, it made me think. I began to immediately flash back to the comments I'd gotten from people about my uncanny, quote unquote, desire to be more. Some people even told me point blank, "You will not find a husband if you continue this way." And I'll get to that in a bit. The truth is, there is something about being ambitious as a woman that makes the world uncomfortable. And by world, I'm not just talking about male folks. I'm also referring to women. So this is not just a guy thing. It's not just the men who have an issue with this. Some women have an issue with this as well. Believe it or not, we live in a highly misogynist society. And thankfully, many women are beginning to break these stereotypes. But the truth is, there's still a lot of work to be done. We still have a long way to go. Before I recorded this episode, I asked a couple of friends of mine, guys and girls, what exactly they thought about ambitious women, and their answers, to be honest, weren't very surprising. Most of them, especially the guys, were of the opinion that ambitious women were scary and intimidating. Like, really? Scary, really. They said most of them said that ambitious women were scary and intimidating. They said that if a woman was ambitious, it would be difficult to control her. If a woman is ambitious, then they'll have issues controlling her. So therein lies the problem, my people. Control. There are actually certain adjectives that are used to describe ambitious women in today's world. And just so you don't get confused by ambitious, I'm talking about women who go after their dreams, women who go all out to be who God created them to be. I'm talking about women who do not shrink back in fear. I'm talking about women who are willing to put in the work to occupy corridors of influence. Those type of women. By ambition, I'm not just talking about chasing a career or seeking financial success, because you can be ambitious for different reasons. You can be ambitious to have a flourishing career. You can be ambitious for the gospel. You can be ambitious for purpose. You can be ambitious for generational impact. You can be ambitious for transformational impact in your generation. Okay, so I'm not just talking in terms of financial success. Okay, so back to my point. There are many adjectives that are used to describe ambitious women. Some of them include bossy, unsubmissive, proud, haughty, weird, abnormal. And guess what? Tell people to describe an ambitious man and they'll call him a go-getter. They'll call him driven. they'll call him a leader, they'll call him a change agent, they'll call him a catalyst. Isn't that funny? Like, just people chasing their dreams. Is just that we have different adjectives to describe such people based on their gender. Not fair. Hillary Clinton once said, she said, with men, success and ambition are correlated with likability. So the more successful a man is, the more likable he becomes. With a woman, guess what? It's the exact opposite. So for women, the more successful you are, the less likely you are you are able to score any point with anybody. An ambitious woman will be regarded as not knowing her place, as wanting too much, and being unnecessarily desirous for success. What does that even mean? But the fact remains that until men and women are regarded and treated as equals, ambitious and successful women will always be dragged for pursuing their dreams. It is because of this imbalance that women are told to give up on their dreams to become viable partners. It's just like what someone told me once. He said, no man wants a woman to be too successful. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? But like, if your partner is successful, you're going to reap the benefits. Like, it's going to be both of you. If your wife is successful, it's going to be both of you. So you're supposed to cheer her on. You're supposed to push her. You're supposed to challenge her. You're supposed to encourage her. But the guy was like, nah, if she's too successful, we are going to have a problem. And that's crazy. While doing my research for this on this topic, I saw a study published by the University of Chicago in 2016 where it was observed how even in the 21st century, men prefer female partners who are less professionally ambitious than they are. The study said that men tend to avoid female partners with characteristics usually associated with professional ambition, such as high levels of education, pardon me. It is relatively unlikely that a woman will earn more than her husband. And when she does, marital satisfaction is lower and divorce is more likely. Now, many people will attribute this to the male ego and the natural tendencies of the male. But I believe that some of these so-called tendencies were learned. The reason men feel threatened or intimidated by ambitious women, I believe, is because they have been raised in and taught by a society that sees it as a taboo for a woman to be anything but successful, right? So, and this brings me to my next point, which is the African or the Nigerian context. Okay, in this part of the world, the case is even worse because, first of all, a typical Nigerian girl is raised to see marriage as the be-all and end-all. She's raised to believe that being married is the greatest accomplishment for any woman. If her dreams are too big, whoa, like, whoa, it means she'll stay long in her father's house. What do you mean by you want to get a PhD? For what? Makagini, like they will say in my language. For what? We want to get a PhD before you get what? You want a PhD? What? You're not ready to marry, my sister. Do you want to spoil your market? What about the men? The average Nigerian man is raised to see women as his subjects, people created to attend to his nutritional and sexual needs. To the average Nigerian man, women are there to bear the children, raise them, cook, clean, and take care of him in the other room. Now, this is not to say that there aren't men who help fan into flames the dreams and the aspirations of the women in their lives. There are, and frankly speaking, the world needs more of such men. As a matter of fact, I got responses from men who said they would love for their wives to be ambitious and would even support her ambitions. Someone even said he was cool with having an ambitious woman so long as she had a good character and doesn't jettison their family unit chasing her dreams. He said he's willing to go all out to support his woman's dreams, provided that her desire to be more doesn't become inordinate, such that everything else becomes secondary to her. Now, I'm going to throw in a disclaimer here because I like to balance things. So I'm going to throw in a disclaimer here just so nobody misunderstands the point that I'm trying to make. I'm all about balance. I believe that we shouldn't neglect our families because we're chasing a career. And I'm saying this because I'm aware of the extremes. There are women who abandoned their family duties because they're chasing a career or running a business or even ministry. They never have any time for anything, not their kids, not their spouses, nothing but themselves and their ambitions. There's another extreme of women who are scared to chase anything or dream anything or aspire to anything because they feel it would reduce their viability for marriage. There are men who have made it their life's mission to destroy their wife's dreams or their woman's dreams. I know a man who refused to allow his wife continue with her education. He even threatened to divorce her, take their only child if she dared it. Isn't that funny? His reason was that she would become proud. And today, both of them, unfortunately, are dealing with the repercussion of this wrong decision. They're both struggling financially because of this decision. He isn't educated and he didn't allow his wife to get an education. And now, few years down the line, they're both paying for his mistake. So, to the men out there, I just want to say, don't clip your woman's wings. Support her dreams. Be the one who cheers her on. Don't be afraid. Don't believe the lie that she'd become unsubmissive. The truth is that success doesn't necessarily change people. It only amplifies who they are. If she's not haughty naturally, success will not make her haughty. I always say that people, situations that bring out who we really are. Sometimes the person you think is not is humble might just surprise you, because that's who the person really are really is, on the inside. So don't discourage your woman's dreams just because you feel if she becomes successful, she'll become proud, she will not listen to you anymore. You're dealing with a fellow human being. Treat her as an equal, treat her as a partner. Okay, and we want to see more successful women. We want to raise more successful women. We want more women to rise up and break barriers. We want more women to rise up and occupy corridors of power, occupy corridors of influence in our generation. So let's encourage our daughters to go after what they want. Let's encourage our sons to not be scared of ambitious women. Let's teach our boys that women to have the right to dream. They have the right to soar, and they have the right to fly. Let's teach our boys to respect the dreams of women, to respect the ambitions of women. Okay, let's teach our boys that they do not have to feel intimidated by an ambitious woman. So that's our show for today. Thank you so much for listening. And feel free to subscribe to this podcast, and also feel free to send me a message concerning this topic or any other topic that I have covered on this show so far on this show. It was good talking with you guys again. If you need to send me a private message, just send me an email at talktoretta@gmail.com, or you can send me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram handle is @retta_Gerard. You can also follow me on Facebook. I am Loretta Gerard on Facebook. Thank you so much for listening. Do subscribe. Take care. Bye.